Hello, my name is Eliza Sylvia, and I am currently a graduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences and the College of Business and Economics Convocation ceremony this afternoon. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and the magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are red. The University of Guelph crest that you can see on the curtains behind me and shown on the cover of your convocation program also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links with the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance in agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere cosas, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall are also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduands, the students who are coming to graduate today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority, and the university will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and the mace is the Chancellor and President, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. We will begin with doctorate and magisteriates, followed by the baccalaureate degrees. The name reader will present scholars to the Chancellor and President by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be videoed, and technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The president will greet each student at the center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. There will be an opportunity for a truly thunderous applause. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the Chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all of the platform party has processed out of the hall. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program developed especially for Convocation. Please share your photos, memories, and advice with the graduating students by joining us on social media and using the hashtag GuelphGrad. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduands on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph.
Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let us pause for a moment and reflect with our whole selves on our unique journeys, our distinct callings, and our place in this complex and mysterious world. In this moment, we acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph now stands. We offer our respect to their Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors. We remember that the world as we experience it is not the world as it has always been. Furthermore, it is not the world as it must always be. In this moment, we give thanks for those friendships that have blessed us over the course of our studies. We are grateful for those who have supported us and held us up, for the journey has been long and the traveling hard. I invite you now to embrace a short silence and in your own way, be it through prayer or remembrance or thoughtful affirming, recognize that for which you are grateful. And as we open ourselves to a new season of life, may the knowledge that we have attained here be coupled with wisdom, colored with compassion, and marked with humility. May we embrace each new opportunity in ways that honor creation, that foster community, and that defends the dignity of all people. And may the mystery of life and each new moment bring us laughter and delight as we seek to be agents of grace and peace and hope for this world. Amen. You may be seated.
Good evening. I am delighted to officially open this 2017 University of Guelph Convocation ceremony and welcome every one of you. President Vaccarino, members of the board, honorary fellows, faculty, staff, family and friends of the graduates. Today, as we celebrate the achievements of our graduating students, I'd like to offer a particular welcome to our convocation speaker, Evie Odemat, who will be introduced to you shortly. My name is Martha Billis, and I have the honor of serving as Chancellor here at the University of Guelph. And what an honor it is to be here today, back at the University of Guelph, my alma mater. I think back to when I was in your shoes, proud to be a Mac Institute graduate and anxious to take on the next challenge around the corner. Problem is, we do not always know what is coming or how to get there. Tonight, I want to instill in you a belief my dean, Margaret McCready, instilled in me years ago. She was full of advice, but most often said, remember, ladies, you are MAC girls, and MAC girls can do anything. And she was right. I stand before you tonight to proudly and confidently tell you that the education I received here gave me the wherewithal to go out and strive beyond what I thought I was capable of. Since the days of its founding colleges, the University of Guelph has been a leader in practical education focused on the whole person. The university has fostered an environment that encourages its community of students to aim higher, to make things better, to be more productive, to turn preconceived notions on their head, to make a difference, to improve life. My education opened doors and offered windows on the world I could not have imagined. Half a century later, those things are still happening here at this fantastic institution. Graduands, your windows are waiting. It's your turn. Your turn to make a difference and to improve life for ourselves and for others. I know you can do it because you are, after all, a University of Guelph graduate, and you can do anything. Good luck to you all, and thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the honor and the great privilege of serving as the President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. Well, graduates, it's your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done and well deserved. Congratulations. Think fast. Think fast. We've all heard that expression. You don't very often hear anyone tell you to think slow. But my main message today is twofold: think fast and think slow. As a psychologist and professor of psychology actually here at this university, I'm interested in cognitive science and neuroscience. And speaking as well as a parent of university-age children, I believe that our minds, your minds, are different from those of your parents' generation. We see how you absorb information, how you interact with and through information technology. Young people are very, very good at coping with lots of information and shifting their attention in that context. Your brains have fundamentally, your brains have adapted to a very, very fast-paced world. Today, we are navigating a river of knowledge, one that's growing larger and flowing faster all the time. New ideas come at us at an unprecedented pace, new innovations, new ways to connect the dots and understand the world. We need to process more and more information in the same amount of time. We need to think faster. You might call this fast thinking reactive thinking. Reactive thinking is a kind of tactical thinking. It's what helps a driver negotiate the twists and turns of the road from moment to moment. But of course, there's another kind of thinking, reflective thinking or slow thinking, which takes a more strategic view, a broader view. Not that I'm suggesting that you think more slowly in the literal sense. I'm really talking about a different kind of thought, different way of thinking, almost like a different channel than tactical or reactive. In our fast-paced world, universities are increasingly important places for both kinds of thinking. Reactive or fast thinking that addresses the now, but also reflective thinking that rises above the here and now to take the long view and considers the broader context, to consider tomorrow, decisions you're making now, to consider tomorrow and the day after. As students at the University of Guelph, you have benefited during the past few years from an environment that has challenged your thinking, an environment that nurtures freedom of thought and expression of inquiry, an environment that promotes and supports openness to new ideas, one that invites varied perspectives on a problem or on an opportunity. We've tried to encourage you to exercise both reactive and reflective thinking. We've stressed the kind of thinking that enables you not just to provide the right answers, but importantly, to also ask, of course, the right questions. We've looked to nurture thinking that is disciplined and thinking that is interdisciplinary, that draws upon diverse experiences and points of view. That kind of thinking is even more important today in a world where the challenges and opportunities that we face are larger and more complex and more interconnected than ever. Now, big problems and big opportunities need lots of minds thinking together on solutions. These are not just like minds, but unlike minds. Unlike minds from varied backgrounds and different perspectives. You know, there's a proverb that goes something like this: if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. You're about to explore and discover the next phase of your lives, including, I hope, finding ways to improve life for others around you and in the wider world. So go together, think fast, and think slow. And thank you very much. Congratulations. Well done.
I am pleased to invite Eve Adome, Assistant Professor and Faculty Advisor in the Department of Economics and Finance, to now give the Convocation address.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, family and friends of the graduands. Before I begin, I want to ask a couple of questions. How many of you took a course from me? And was that course Introductory Microeconomics in your first year of university? Yes. Well, let me start by saying it is a great privilege for me to be able to address you tonight at the end of your degree, especially since I was there in the beginning. And to all of you, my sincere congratulations. The key to a credible convocation address is to talk about what you know. So tonight, I'm going to talk about economics. Yesterday, I asked one of my sons to read over my address for a young person's perspective. He promptly sent me a YouTube video from a famous comedian giving an address and told me to copy this man's approach. This did not inspire confidence. It also poses a pretty big problem for me because I'm not that funny. And so he also warned me that I shouldn't give a lecture, but I've been lecturing a long time, since '88. And I actually think what I'm going to share tonight is really important. And so just to motivate you to listen to me one last time, let me tell you that what I'm going to say tonight, in life, you will be tested on it. The idea I want to discuss is economic equality, or more to the point, inequality, which has a couple of root causes. It's the result of both the hand you were dealt, what economists call endowments, what other social scientists might label privilege, and what I'm going to call, along with my philosopher colleagues, luck, as well as how well you play that hand, the choices you make, given the incentives and the opportunity costs set before you. Recall from introductory microeconomics that the efficient choice is the one with the lowest opportunity cost connected to supply, leading to giving the highest utility connected to demand, leading to the greatest social gain or economic surplus, resulting in the lowest dead weight loss. I know what you're thinking. Oh dear, her son was right. But in all honesty, where you end up in life will largely be determined by these economic realities, both what you can't control, your luck or your endowments, and what you can control, your choices. It's as simple and as profound as that. So let's start with the part you can't control, your luck. I think all of us in this room are lucky people, especially me. You see, I won the global lottery when I was born in Canada. It's a wonderful country in terms of the Human Development Index, a measure of life expectancy, education, income per person. And on a personal level, when my mom was hospitalized with severe morning sickness, her family doctor canceled a prescription for thalidomide because he didn't trust it. I was very lucky to be born with all of my limbs fully formed. My parents were immigrants from Holland, and a couple of weeks ago, I had an emotional moment on Pier 21 in Halifax when I stood where they had stood after they had gotten off their ships. They met, married here, and the government didn't assimilate their children into Canadian culture by putting me into a residential school to take the Dutch out of me. I lived at home with my mom and dad, at first on a dairy farm, and then in a church parsonage. Except for the first house, we had indoor plumbing, and these properties were never bombed. As a child, I went to public school all the way up to the end of high school, completely paid for by tax dollars, and it didn't matter that I was a girl. I was allowed to go to university. I met my husband as a grad student, and I was married at 25 years of age, not 12. So today, I'm standing before you giving a convocation address. Honestly, lucky, lucky, lucky. There are many alternative states of the real world which could have been horribly unlucky for me. My life has been blessed. I invite you to pause, just think about your own relatively lucky breaks. I know we've heard the adage, the harder I work, the luckier I get, which is quite catchy, but not quite right, because it's also true that the way to a small fortune is to start with a large one. Research has shown that how you think about luck actually matters. It changes how you think about your life and about the lives of others. And I hope it takes you to where my good fortune has taken me, to gratitude and thankfulness. It bears saying that the major source of good luck for you people are those people. And they have loved you, they supported you, they're actually here for you. You are very lucky to have them. I invite you to stand up, turn around, and applaud your family and friends to show your appreciation. So we've established that we're lucky. What next? Guilt? I don't think so. It isn't your fault. You were lucky. And that doesn't seem in keeping with my sunny exhortation to be grateful and thankful. Instead of feeling guilty, I hope your luck brings you to what I will call the duty of generosity. After all, you didn't deserve to be lucky, just as others don't deserve to be unlucky. It is not their fault that they are refugees fleeing a war-torn country, that they were damaged by drugs taken by their mothers during a pregnancy, that the government took them from their families and subjected them to cultural genocide and abuse, or that some families actually harm rather than help their children. As a lucky individual, you can afford to be benevolent. Giving of your time and wealth to help others is a sign you truly understand your lot in life. To whom much is given, much is required. And when you are generous, it actually gives you what economists call the warm glow effect. So there's actually something in it for you. It really feels good to be a giver. And there's no shortage of good causes for you to give to. However, I think the most effective way to help unlucky people have a change of luck is to work through governments, through such institutions as schools, hospitals, the legal and justice system to help the less fortunate. Our greatest efforts may be together as a civil society than separately as individuals. Now, we have to make sure governments get this right. Let me repeat this. It's important. We have to make sure governments get this right because they can get it horribly wrong. For example, from 1958 to 1962, around the year of my birth, the Great Leap Forward in China was a very devastating economic policy with a death toll of at least 18 million Chinese people, about half the population of Canada. The current situation in Venezuela demonstrates that poorly conceived socialist policies that make people equal but poor are very bad policies and lead to all kinds of despair. In Canada, I hope as an educated person, you can positively contribute to the economic discussion about inequality, no matter if you favor the left or the right of the political spectrum, to improve things. And I hope your generation gets it right with Indigenous people. We will owe you if you can. On an optimistic note, governments can get it right. They can set fair rules through legislation. Furthermore, the efficient redistribution of wealth from high income to low income earners through appropriate tax and spending programs can be an effective way to share the luck. Governments must always make sure that they take equity and efficiency as part of their agenda. So, when you pay your taxes, and I hope for your sake you get to pay taxes because it'll mean you actually done all right. Just try to resist the endowment effect and not think of it as a transfer from the deserving you to the undeserving them, but rather from the lucky you to the unlucky them. Government policies, when done right, are not a form of robbery, but a way to create a country of lucky citizens. Wait a second. Am I saying that if you work hard, that you shouldn't reap the rewards of your efforts, that everyone, no matter who they are, what they've done, should make the same amount of income? No, I'm not saying that. Time to talk some more about economic efficiency and the role of the free market. People are different. They want different things. People also make choices, and those choices have different costs and benefits. You've already made some big choices. You're graduating with a degree with a particular major from the University of Guelph. Now you have time, you're going to make new choices. Some of you are going on to more education, others to the labor market. Some of you want to be rich, and you hope to do this by using your talents, your skills, your knowledge, your networks, and your willingness to work very, very hard, all of which has a genetic component. So there's luck, but nonetheless, you're willing to pay the price for that income. You might do this by becoming an entrepreneur and experience tremendous risk, and you just hope you're on the upside of the reward distribution. On the other hand, some of you are thinking, no way. I want more leisure, time to travel, spend time with friends and family, a simpler, less income-driven, less materialistic lifestyle. While at Guelph, you may have found the love of your life, which leads to more choices. Do you want to marry and or have children? How many children? You have to decide how much investment you want to put into these people. If you're a woman especially, you will have to decide, do you want to bear children, and what will that mean for your employment path? Part-time, full-time, high-stress job, low-stress job, choices, choices, choices. Each with an opportunity cost and each with a marginal benefit. In life, you will have to make trade-offs because, no, wait for it, you cannot have it all. As Robert Frost so eloquently said, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. These paths will have divergent outcomes. At retirement, lives look very different because of the consequences of choices, and they may not be equal in terms of income, which is actually only one dimension that gives happiness in your utility function. This inequity is perfectly fine because it's by choice and not by chance. And now I've hoped you've learned how to make good choices, to optimize as a problem solver. Here's a quick refresher. You want to maximize your utility or happiness subject to your constraints. In other words, you need to know yourself, know your costs, and find the tangency. If you must, use calculus. Now, I doubt you will have to use calculus, but here at Guelph, you have practiced solving lots of problems, both in the rigor of the classroom and in the ebb and flow out of it. This practice can only help you as you face the future. Let's think about costs and benefits. To make the best decision possible, you need to discipline yourself, to critically assess the true costs of each of your options. Think them through. And here, public policy will again play a role. Even with respect to making choices, Governments are important because tax and spending programs change incentives, and that changes behavior. For example, income splitting versus generous maternity benefits drastically changes whether or not it's worth it for mothers of young children to actually stay in the labor market. Some costs are sunk, but most costs are relevant, so be strategic. Get the best information possible when you have to make important decisions. Retirement is a long way off, and you need to at least try to prepare for a rapidly changing economy. By the way, good for you for not graduating in a recession. Lastly, think about what will make you happy now and you in the future. There's lots of research on how people go through a life cycle. What I'm asking of you as a graduate is to be thoughtful in the academic sense of the word, full of thought. Then be as happy and as content as you can be. You did the best you could with who you are and what you had. I wish you a life with no envy and no regrets. So, equality and inequality has two major components: luck, choices, that can look quite entwined. Try to be objective in untangling the lucky part and hold on to it with open hands. I read one convocation address by a very famous person who will remain nameless, the following admonition: life's not fair, get used to it. Please don't. Do not get used to unfairness. A fair system in terms of equity and efficiency is a goal we as a society should strive for. Hold governments accountable to this ideal. When life's not fair, work for intelligent or thoughtful change. Our choices today will lead to either a lucky or an unlucky society tomorrow for your children. While this is not a religious service, it is a ceremony that marks the end of one era and the beginning of another, and I want to leave you with a benediction of sorts. This is my wish for you as a Guelph grad. May your perspective make you grateful. May your heart make you generous. May your mind make you wise. And good luck.
Thank you, Professor Adame, for those incredibly inspiring words. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charlotte Yates. I'm the Provost and Vice President Academic of the University of Guelph. And I have a great honor. Would you please, would the graduates please stand? I have the honor to present to you, Madam Chancellor, these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Good evening. My name is Ben Bradshaw, and I am the Assistant Vice President of Graduate Studies at the University of Guelph. As such, I'm doubly delighted to witness Convocation today. Firstly, I'm delighted to see some of our 2,500 graduate students complete master's and doctoral degrees, following what can constitute years of determined study and research. Secondly, I'm delighted by the thought that some of these newly completed undergraduates might return to the University of Guelph to complete a graduate degree with us. As such, I would love to lead a collective applause for each graduate. Unfortunately, I must exercise restraint and ask you similarly to hold your collective applause until after the presentation of each of the degree programs. Of course, if you wish to express your excitement in some audible manner as your graduate walks across the stage, we will not stand in your way. Indeed, we encourage you to do so. Thank you. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics, that they may be admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Asil Al-Gamdi. Mustafa Karuglu. Come right here, Jamie. Jamie Lee. Esmond Lunn. Please join me in congratulating our doctorates of philosophy. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics that they may be admitted to the degree of Masters of Arts in Leadership. Great. Nicole Lisa Clarkson. Luce Marie de Villa. Barbara Levitt. Ian Douglas Morehouse. Rochelle Morris. Grant Donald Woodcello. Please join me in congratulating these scholars. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Science. Trusha Dalal. Yan Jing Chu. Her Jae Jung. And Wu Ling Jia. Please join me in congratulating these four scholars.
Good evening. My name is Julia Christensen Hughes, and I have the pleasure of being the Dean of the College of Business and Economics. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors. Robert John William Adcock. Congratulations. Alexandra Victoria Park Hegarty, with distinction. Mashur Hossain. Sean Justin Leslie. Congratulations. Alexandra Alexander Kyle Meek with distinction. Emily Oksana Lisa Olenek with distinction. Please join me in congratulating these graduands. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Business and Economics that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Brendan John Allward. Sandro Antau. Batu Aras. Holly Asbrook. Raquel Batoka with distinction. Jacqueline Mary Bessie. John Kevin Burney. Jordan Matthew Blum with distinction. Jacob Grant Free Bolton. David William Charles Burton. Daniel Joseph Shirelli. Rachel Rose Clements. Jessica Coughlin. Stephen David Courtney. Patrick Norman Daly. Patrick Delaney. Michael Joseph Demers. Michael Robert DiCarlo with distinction. Frank DiCosimo. Dean James Demo. Stephen Frederick Dunn. Sonia Rachel Donahoe. Timothy Daniel Dreger. Caitlin Sue Ann Frith with distinction. Christopher Garbushian. Alexander Michael Gregornik. Avery Jared Gutierrez. Daniel Joseph Halos. Calvin Maxwell Holland. Do you want the Sloan? Tyler Idzenga. Garrett Chap Ing. Skylar Johnson. Cipriana Jones. Brendan Joseph Killip. Alexander Kilty Tripp with distinction. Christopher Corey King. Michael Peter Coppert with distinction. Do you want these? No, it's okay. Thank you. Stephen Keiston. Jeremy Lister with distinction. Branson Lowe with distinction. Stephen Edward Longo. Miguel Luengo. Garner William McFarlane. Dylan John McKay with distinction. Madison Claire McKellar with distinction. Zachary Ma. Melissa Velda Ann Miller. Hayden John Michael Murphy. Kyle Patrick Murphy. Susanna Claudia Oliveira Viterbo. Erin Eileen Pedro with distinction. Congratulations. It's your big night. Alice Penny. Congratulations, Faith. Liam Ronald Kevin Phelan. Congratulations, Phipps. Adam Thomas Phipps. Yes. Congratulations. Sarah Megan Playford with distinction. Congratulations. Hopiel. Well done. Congratulations. Martin Robert Popiel. Congratulations. Regular. Okay. Shannon Isabella Regier. Congratulations. Ryman. Thanks, Joshua. Joshua Max Ryman. Congratulations. Riolo? Got it. Thomas Daniel Riolo. Congratulations. Well done. Keith Roberts. Congratulations. Andrew James Sharp. Justin Sheba. Mitchell Ryan Suchuk. Congratulations. Matthew Shulman. Well done. Matthew Schulman. Right. Okay, Mackenzie Smith. Congratulations, Mackenzie Smith. Mackenzie Smith. Congratulations. Jacob Mitchell Snyder. Jacob Mitchell Snyder. Congratulations. Is it Sora? Okay, well done. Christopher Martin Sora. Shannon Steele with distinction. Congratulations. James Stevens. Congratulations. Treadwell. Well done. Mitchell James Treadwell. Is it Nick? Yeah. Nick Vasiliev. Congratulations. Congratulations. Michael James Waite. Congratulations. Yeah, got it. Christopher Matthew Wilhelm. Stephen Carl James Wilkin. Kevin Vivias with distinction. Zhangzhu Zhang. Congratulations to all of these graduates. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the School of Hospitality, Food, and Tourism Management that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Allison Marie Musari. Kendall Nancy Oraz. Please join me in congratulating all of these fabulous graduates.
Good evening. My name is Byron Sheldrick, and I'm the Associate Dean Academic for the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences that they may be admitted to the degree Bachelor of Arts Honors Program. Thank you. Alexandria Nancy Baldessaro. Margaret Flora Burton with distinction. Courtney Black. Chelsea N. Capstick with distinction. Savreet Kaur Chuckle with distinction. Alexandra Nicole Cripps. Janine Ruth Drugendick with distinction. Catherine Grace Dunn. Riley Mackenzie Forrester with distinction. Emma Franklin. Taylor Marie Gurney. Sarah Jane Howe, with distinction. Anna Marie Kelly. Nicholas Labuda. Cameron Howard Litchmore. Stephanie Ann Little. Ariel Blanche Sebastian Lukic. Jenna Catherine McClymont, with distinction. Megan McKay, with distinction. Bethany Michelle Meunier. Sophia Gabriela Meza. Sarah Marie O'Mara, with distinction. Amy Pico Avilés. Rosie Petrides. Micaela Victoria Poe. Casey Colette Schnarr, with distinction. Zoe Stiliano. Jessica Barbara Taylor. Got it. Lindsay Elaine McCarricker. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating this group of outstanding scholars.
Madam Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduands listed in the program, but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduands not present.
Well, graduates, you did it. Congratulations. Terrific work. Well, let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the Griffin alumni family, a growing family. This week, more than 3,400 new graduates are joining that family. University of Guelph alumni now number more than 125,000 grads around the world. Now, as you can imagine, we are all very, very proud of your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph and really do look forward to seeing how the foundations that you've developed here as a student will continue to support you in the years to come and in your future. We want to celebrate your achievements and your successes and do hope that you'll stay in touch. And remember that you're always welcome here. So graduates, you've made many memories here, I'm sure, including today's ceremony. And remember this as well, you are a student for a short time, but a Griffin forever. Congratulations. Well done. So that concludes our formal convocation ceremony. The college deans will host a reception for all graduates and their guests in Creelman Hall right next door here. This is an opportunity to mingle a little bit and congratulate the graduates, and we do hope that you can attend. And now, as tradition has it, the final word is from our Chancellor.
Convocation is dismissed.
Again, congratulations, everyone. We hope that you go out and do great things, come back and visit often. Enjoy some time with your family and friends outside, get some great photos for memories. And we ask one thing is that you return your lovely gowns and hoods to the tent before you go to the reception, please. One more time, you did it. Woo!